So we're going to walk through an example of doing lead qualification with quicknet. So here's the data that we're going to start with. We'll take a look at this tab. So we have one column called title. It just has the titles, job titles of people and a label, 1 or 0. So 1 would be a good match for your company and 0 would be a bad match for your company. So this again, in context, is when you're trying to go hunt leads and you have a big lead list and need to trim it down or qualify that lead list into people that you should actually reach out to. So we have a ton of job titles in here. You see some duplicates are in here. That's okay. Roughly there are, let's see how many there are here, about 2,000, 1,800. You may not need this many. You might need about half of this. 1,000 is a good number. A couple hundred's a decent number. You could try it with a couple hundred, but with this, we're going to show in a second, but this gets almost 100% accuracy. So this works super well if you have quite a bit of data or you've done a couple rounds of lead hunting and have this data to play around with. But this is it. You just put one column with title and the other column with label. And again, 1 is yes and the 0 is a no. So how do we get this into quicknet? I'm going to, or I already created a new project, but you would just click create new project. This one, I chose text data. You could probably get away with using the tabular data one, but we'll just use the text data one for now. So I already have this set up, but you would come in here and just upload that CSV and it would bring you to this state right here. So we can come in and manage data set. You might have to clean up the labels. Again, target is the thing that you're trying to predict. So in our case, it's this label column. And then the kind of data that we're putting in is this title column, which is of data type text. And then down here, you can see your total count will be obviously different. Make sure to just annotate all of them or mark them all as annotated down here. And then mark them all as verified if you've already verified them all. That way you can skip the kind of annotation process. If you haven't, then you would come over here into the annotation tab. It would show you all the labels that are not verified yet. So this one is not verified. So we would come into annotate and you can just really quickly go through and let me mark that as unannotated again. So you could really quickly come through and label these or change this if you needed to. If this was supposed to be a 0, you could do this. See, it auto saves for you, and then you mark it as verified. And then we have no more data to annotate, so we can go to train our model. So I've already trained this one. It took about 4 minutes plus a few seconds to actually train. But you can just start a new training session, and then once you have the model trained, you can see here 99.5% accuracy, which is great. 256 total time to train. This plot might not mean anything to you, and that's fine, and neither will this log. That's okay. The most important thing up here is this accuracy score. And then, of course, you can use it. So if you wanted to, for instance, upload a CSV with just job titles, it would output the label, the predicted label. So in this case, we can also just put job title in here. So I'll put a job title in here and it will go out and ask the model. And so in this case, this was a 1. Obviously, this is from the data set, so we're cheating a little bit. But let's see what head of data comes back as. Should come back as a 0. And great, it comes back as a label 0. So again, you could either just put them in one by one up here or just upload a CSV with just that title column and it will output the labels, and then you could really quickly download it. And that's about it. So that's how you can use quicknet for some lead generation stuff.